Well, what is rather confusing in all this is that India is pretty much playing the associate empire's role in that region itself. India is willing to do what the United States wants now, willing to pretty much
up to a point. Right, India is actually playing a rather complicated game. They're maintaining their relation with China, while they're also have conflicts with China. So it's ambiguous. They are maintaining relations with Iran, which the United States doesn't like. So they haven't rejected the Iran-Pakistan-India pipeline. In fact, may be developing it. And they're pursuing their own goals, but they're also following U.S. interests. So yes, they're maintaining a complicated international role. The United States is now, I mean, it's quite interesting to see what's happening now. You read the front pages every day. There's stories about Iran. Is Iran concealing its nuclear weapons? Is this newly discovered, newly revealed site a secret site for producing nuclear weapons? Should we, what kind of missile system should we put in Europe to prevent Iranian attacks? Everything is focused on Iranian nuclear activities. A Security Council resolution was just passed, which is portrayed here as if it's against Iran. However, at the very same time, India announced openly, publicly, not a secret, that in fact right after the Security Council resolution calling on all states to join the Non-Proliferation Treaty, not to develop, right after that, India announced that it now has the capacity to produce, they said, 200 kiloton nuclear weapons, which are on the scale of the most advanced weapons in the United States and Russian arsenals. Anybody talking about that? In fact, hadn't even reported in the United States. A few days before that, the International Atomic Energy Agency, which is now under fire because they say it's not doing enough about Iran, it passed a resolution calling on Israel to join the Non-Proliferation Treaty and to open its nuclear facilities to inspection. The United States and Europe tried to block the resolution. When they couldn't block it, they voted against it. It passed anyway, and Israel said it would reject it. That has yet to be reported in the United States. If India develops expands its already significant nuclear weapons capacity, Pakistan will too. India and Pakistan have come close to nuclear war twice. It's kind of like a miracle that they didn't do there. Is any of this being discussed? In fact, there are 3 states that have never signed the Non-Proliferation Treaty: Pakistan, India, and Israel, all with the support of the United States. In the case of Israel, it's not worth commenting. In the case of Pakistan, the Reagan administration pretended that they didn't know that Zia-ul-Haq was developing nuclear weapons. Of course they knew. But they pretended they didn't so they could keep military aid flowing to their favorite dictator. In the case of India, a year ago, the United States signed a treaty with India, which in effect says the United States is going to help your nuclear weapons program. I mean, that's not the wording. The wording is that India is now relieved of the obligation, the ban on support for nuclear energy operations, and it can receive equipment and so on and so forth. But all of that immediately transfers over to nuclear weapons, and of course they know it. So here's 3 countries, the 3 that have not signed the Non-Proliferation Treaty. Those are the ones that the Security Council resolution is directed against, not Iran. Iran signed the Non-Proliferation Treaty. Maybe it's developing nuclear weapons, maybe not, but we don't know. And that resolution calls on all states not to use the threat of force. Who's using the threat of force? The United States and Israel, nobody else. Openly using the threat of force against Iran. So the resolution, in fact, is directed against the United States, Israel, India, and secondarily Pakistan. That's not the way it's portrayed. Take the missiles in the big controversy about the missiles in Europe. Obama rearranged the anti-missile system, from the way Bush had it in Czechoslovakia and Poland to some other way. And there are various technical arguments about it. But the debate, and it's a lot of debate and controversy. He's under sharp attack, he's being defended, and so on. The entire debate and controversy is evading the only issue. What are the systems there for? Does anybody seriously believe that Iran would launch an attack against Europe or the United States? I mean, only if they have a death wish. You know, if they even as much as loaded a missile, the country would be incinerated. In fact, the U.S. intelligence regards it as a sort of 0% chance. As Zbigniew Brzezinski, one of the few people whose head is screwed on these days, he pointed out that it's a, he said, we're setting up a non-existent technology against a non-existent threat. I mean, Europe would do better building up an asteroid defense system than that. It's not a system designed to defend against an Iranian attack. It's a first strike weapon. Anti-missile systems are first strike weapons. They're designed to possibly fend off a deterrent, a responsive strike. So what they are is, and that's understood on all sides. So what it is an effort to extend the U.S.-Israeli threat to bomb Iran. Try to find a word about that in any of the commentary. Well, you know, these are the things that ought to be looked at, and the same question goes back, the same issues go back to your original question. What's this aid for? First of all, notice that it's on the scale of the, in fact, less than the amount that's going to maintain the mega embassies, the one that's already in Baghdad, the one that's being built in Pakistan, the one that's being built in Kabul, which are intended to, which of course indicate the intention of having a permanent, long-standing U.S. presence to dominate the region. All of these things have to be factored together if one wants to arrive at realistic judgment.